What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to show you how to install Kali Linux in VirtualBox so you can be like all the cool kids in the hacker movies. So the first step is you can go to your search engine and just type in Kali install. Should be probably the first one. Get Kali. You're going to click this. Then you're going to download your ISO file. So to do that, you can go ahead and just click Installer Images. This will direct you to the lower part of the page. And you'll see right here we have an ISO installation file right here for a Kali Linux 2024.1. Make sure that 64-bit is selected and then go ahead and download it from here. Now I've already downloaded this ahead of time because it can take a little while to install. So for the sake of brevity, I went ahead and just installed it ahead of time. But go ahead and install that, and then once it's installed, you'll be ready to fire up your virtual machine and start configuring and installing it on here. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up my virtual machine real quick. Now the first step you can take here is to click New. Name an operating system. So right now you're going to go ahead and name your operating system. I'm just going to call it 1337 Haxer. Yeah, that's good. Now make sure you know where you saved your ISO file. I've got mine saved here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Other. Now for the type, you're going to select Linux and then version. Make sure you select Debian 64-bit. All right, so we're not going to be doing an unattended installation, so we're just going to jump straight to hardware. So right here, you're basically partitioning off memory and processor cores for your virtual machine. So for this, you can put about at least maybe 2 gigabytes. I'm going to go ahead and I have quite a bit of RAM on my system, so I'm going to go ahead and just put 4 megabytes of, 4 gigabytes of RAM. And then you can dedicate either, it's recommended to do at least 2 cores. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 cores of my CPU on there. And then after you've done that, you can partition some of your storage. At least 20 gigabytes. 20 gigabytes is sufficient. You can just leave it at 20 gigabytes if it's already set to that. If not, you can adjust it from here. All right. So 20 gigabytes is sufficient. All right. So once we've set that up, we can go ahead and hit finish. Now, we're going to go ahead and start this bad boy up real quick. We continue with the installation. Might take a moment. Here we go. All right. So now we are actually installing Kali Linux. We just set aside resources for the operating system. Now it's time to actually install the operating system in the virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and do a graphical install. Just hit enter. So now you can just set your language. I'm going to go ahead and set it to English. I'm going to set it to United States. I'm going to set it to American English. This is just loading certain components. It shouldn't take too long. And then after we set a few things, it's going to actually start the base installation, which can take a while. So at that point, I will pause the recording and then come back to it. Okay, let's start. So detecting network. Yeah, so right now it's trying to automatically connect to Wi-Fi, which is pretty convenient. TCP. All right, so the host. Uh, I'm just gonna put actor for the host. Domain we can leave blank. Continue. This is gonna be our username, so I'm just gonna keep it as actor for now. Jesus. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, you're gonna just set your password after you've decided on your username. Setting up the clock. All right, so I'm Eastern time, so I'm going to set mine to Eastern, but you can set yours to whatever time zone you're in. So we need to partition the disk. I have the partitioner. All right, so we can go ahead and do the guided, the guided installer, and we're going to use the entire disk. Now, this, don't be alarmed by this. This is just using the entire amount of the disk that you've partitioned off for the virtual machine. So this isn't going to overwrite your entire disk. It's just going to overwrite like 20 gigabytes of empty space that you've partitioned off for this virtual machine. So you can go ahead and use entire disk. See right as you can see right there, 2.1.6 gigabytes. Go ahead and just click that. And then you can just go ahead and select all files in one partition. And then finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Go ahead and just finish partitioning, and then you can just confirm that. Hit yes. All right, now we're just installing the base system. This can take a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording now, and I'm going to start it back up once it's finished installing. All right. Oops. So at some point during your installation, you're going to be asked to install a desktop environment. So you could do GNOME, KDE Plasma, or you can utilize the Kali's default desktop environment. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the default for right now. So if you want to stick with the default, you don't have to check anything. You can just keep this checked, XFCE. Then we're going to go ahead and hit continue. This may take a little bit, so I'm also going to go ahead and pause it and then start it back up once it's finished. All right. So now we've installed the base operating system. At this time, it's time to go ahead and install the grub bootloader. So it's going to prompt you with this window, and you can just, it's automatically going to have yes selected. You can hit enter, or you can hit continue. And you can select this, and then hit continue. All right, finishing up the installation now. This shouldn't take too long, but just in case it does take a long time, I'm going to go ahead and pause it again and come back once it's finished. All right. So the installation is complete. Now it's time to boot into the new system. So we'll go ahead and just click continue. Running a cleanup. Rebooting into your new system. All right, go ahead and just hit enter. Kali can do /Linux. All right, let me see if I can remember my username now. Oopsies. Oh man, I forgot. Okay, 1 second. Jeez, I thought that I clicked it the first time, but I guess I didn't. All right, here we go. It just took a moment to load, and here we are. So as you can see, you got your password attacks, wireless attacks, you got all your tools right here. You have Firefox, and we're good to go. If you guys got any questions, comment down below. Let me know. If you want me to make any different particular kinds of videos, just let me know. And take care.